I hope when you are watching this video, you are in a good condition. Okay, I want to tell you now about subjunctives with with. Actually, there are some types of subjunctives, but I just want to talk about with. In present. Oh yeah, I hope that you have watched about conditional sentences because it is almost the same, especially with the second type and the third type. They express the fact that is unrealistic. Okay. We always took the chance to be the volunteers in that region. We can see here that the tenses is past. You can use could, you can use would, but it is on past. We wish we took the chance to be the volunteers in that region. In fact, we don't take it. We just do our routine work in this hospital. There is no challenge. The tenses is present because this is in present. The fact is present. It means that it is a regret of not taking the chance to be the volunteers in that region. The regret is in the present. The next, doctors wish they could be strong enough to cure the infected people. In fact, many of them get infected. Even there have been some died. The doctors have a very strong desire to have a good strength to cure the infected people. Unfortunately, many of them get infected. Okay, the next, the staff and doctors in this hospital wish the director would not only take care of the patients from VIPs. In fact, he always ignores patients having not enough money. Would here shows that it is expected to the future. I mean, the desire is expected to the future. But of course, it is impossible because it is only the fact that the desire is contrary to the fact. It is not realistic. It is difficult to change the people or someone's character. So it is difficult for us to change his characters. Okay, for the next is in past. The doctors wish all local governments would have made their region in lockdown simultaneously at the beginning of the pandemic. Look at this. It is in past perfect. This means that actually the doctors expected that all of the governments place their region in lockdown, but they ignored the warning. That's why many people were, or it can be until now, many people are infected. The next, the doctors wish they could have saved many people at that time. In fact, many people died. The doctors had a strong desire that they could save, that they had ability to save many people at a time. But there were too many infected people and their number was not enough, even the number of the medicines. That is the fact. The next, the president wished he had given attention more on the illegal trade of medicine at his earlier term of office. It is a regret. Again, he regretted not giving attention more on the illegal trade of medicine at his earlier term of office. He only focused on the corrupt bureaucracy. That's why the impact can be until now. It is difficult for him to control the illegal trade. Okay, so I want to show that you can also use if only instead of is, but it is stronger. The desire is stronger. Let's see. If only more professionals work with their heart, not for money. In fact, more professionals work only for money. The next. If only the government had fast action to deal with the Spanish flu in 1918. But the government at that time didn't have fast action. It was too slow to control, to handle the Spanish flu. And the result is that there were many people, millions of people died or infected. The death toll was high enough. Okay, the next is I want to tell you about hope and wish. What is the difference? Many students are still confused about it, and I hope that my explanation can help. Actually, hope and wish are or have the same meaning, want or desire. But hope is the desire of something good to happen. But wish, it is also the desire, but it is impossible to happen because it is contrary to the fact. Let's see. We hope this pandemic will be over soon. We wish the doctor and paramedics to be blessed with the good health. Actually, they have the same thing, a hope for the future. We hope this pandemic will be over soon in the future. But look at this, the structure is different. It is to infinitive. It is different from what I showed you in the previous slides. But it is still the same meaning with this hope for future. And you can have this also, this structure. This is, them here is the doctor and paramedics. So this is the indirect object and this is the direct object. But what about these? Okay, let's see. We hope all of the infected people get the proper treatment. Get, this is simple present. We wish all of the infected people got the proper treatment. So, when we use hope, again, there is a desire that the infected people get the proper treatment, but we don't know whether they get the proper treatment or not. But if we use wish, there is a fact here. We wish all of the infected people got the proper treatment, but they don't. We know that they don't get the proper treatment, but still we want those people get the proper treatment. Of course, it is impossible to happen because the fact says differently. The next, we hope to be able to cope with this situation. Look at this, the grammar is different. The structure, the structure is different from this. This is actually, we hope that all of the infected people get the proper treatment. We use that and the clause or the sentence. This is the subject and this is the verb. But we can omit that. But in this example, I use to infinitive. Of course, the meaning is slightly different. This is the subject. The people get the proper treatment, but the subject of to be able to cope with the situation is here is we, the same subject. So we don't need to have it in that clause. We just use to infinitive. We hope to be able to cope with the situation. We want, or we have a desire that we can cope with the situation, but we don't know whether we can or not. We just hope, but we wish we could cope with this situation. It means that we have a desire to be able to cope with the situation, but it's quite hard to cope with it. The fact says that it is quite to cope with it. That's why we cannot cope with the situation. The next is, we hope people traveling abroad will not get infected. So it is in the past. But look at this, would not have got infected. It is in past perfect. We hope people traveling abroad would not get infected in the past, at the beginning of the pandemic. But we didn't know whether they got infected or not. But if we use wish, we know that many of them got infected. That is the fact. But we still want something to happen that is different from the fact. Of course, it is impossible to happen. We wish people traveling abroad would not have got infected, but they got infected. Okay, I hope that you can understand about how to use hope and wish, when you use hope and when you use wish. Also, how to use subjunctives with wish. Okay, I think this explanation is enough. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.